It's all about voting rights. And these two activists, I want you to listen to what they have to say, because it is important. It is what the speech that Sinema gave a few days ago. It was so disingenuous based on even where she's from and what she used to believe. Check this out by Ari Berman and Maria Luz Kumar, and we'll take it on the other side.
This seems to be someone who has essentially declared that voting rights don't matter. All that matters is what Republicans want and what they desire and what they will vote for. So you, as somebody who has made it your mission, your life's work, to try to achieve, access to the ballot, where are we now?
Well, Kyrsten Sinema didn't just disrespect Joe Biden, she disrespected American democracy. And it's incredibly ironic that she called John Lewis her hero, but she's going to allow Republicans to filibuster the John Lewis Voting Rights Act on Martin Luther King Day. And really, she is allowing Republicans, her and Joe Manchin, are allowing Republicans to set the terms of the entire fight. Because what's happening is Republicans in the states are passing all of these voter suppression laws on simple majority party line votes. But Sinema is saying we can't protect voting rights in the U.S. Senate on a party line simple majority vote. And so what she's essentially saying is it's too partisan and divisive to stop laws whose entire purpose are to be partisan and divisive. So basically, Republicans are plotting the next coup. They're doing everything they can to take over election operations in every key swing state. And Sinema and Manchin are basically saying, we're not going to do anything to stop it. Imagine the message that it sends to the Republican Party and the message that it sends to voters all across the country who need badly federal protection for voting rights right now.
She probably feels it ain't gonna hurt her, but her state, it might hurt quite significantly. The state of Arizona is 31.7% Latino. It's 5.2% African American. It's 4% Asian Pacific Islander. The indigenous population makes up 5.3% of the state. It's going to hurt somebody, but it's not going to hurt her. So she clearly doesn't give a damn. But let me not even argue with her. Let me let her argue with her. This is Kyrsten Sinema back in 2010 on the false pressure for 60 votes. Here she is.
The Democrats can stop kowtowing to Joe Lieberman and instead seek other avenues to move forward with health reform. And so it's likely that the Senate will move forward with a process called reconciliation, which takes only 51 votes. The Republicans controlled the Senate for quite some time, in fact, since around 1994. They never had 60 votes, and they managed to do a lot of really bad things during that time. So the reconciliation process is still quite available, and we will use it for good rather than for evil.
Well, Kyrsten Sinema seems to be very much of the political stripes that she'll change to whoever is calling her name the most. In this case, it seems to be being courted by the rich and the wealthy of the Republican Party. The challenge, though, is that she does not represent the interests of the state at all. You mentioned the rising electorate there. The young people that you talked about, African Americans and Latinos, are disproportionately young Arizonans. They are aging into the population. They are trying to define their future for this country. And it's by no coincidence that the modern day Jim Crow laws, coincide with the rise of young, diverse America. For the second time in a row, for the second decade in a row, Latinos were responsible for 50% of our population growth. American-born children who happen to be Latino. And when you look at states like Georgia, when you look at states like Arizona, when you look at states like Texas, together with the African-American community and the Latino community, it's an incredible force. And instead of having the Republicans compete for us on policy issues, they want to control and centralize power. And Sinema wants to be part of that apartheid autocratic government. And that's the question we should ask. We should also ask, where are the patriots on the Republican side? Where's the Mitt Romneys? Where is he? Why isn't he standing up? Because I can tell you that from what I understand from his father's legacy, which is what he claims is why he's here, his father would be completely, I believe, really upset and angry at what the Republicans are doing, because they are not talking about party politics at this case. What they are trying to do is that they are trying to erode little d democracy. Because what happens in autocratic governments is that it gets to a point where it's no longer about the color of your skin, it's the amount in your bank account. because you centralize power on your cronies and your friends. And that is not only the antithesis of America, but it actually goes against our promise. And so what we need, and people say, well, what do we do now? We need every single American right now calling their members of Congress, calling their senators and saying that it's not okay. And we need to look for new leadership in Arizona.
I hope you get three basic things out of this. One is that Sinema has changed her stripes. She used to support reconciliation and not allowing a 60-vote majority from stopping things from occurring in the Senate. Numero dos is that yes, she is in fact, with her obstinance, actually allowing for a second coup. And not only that, a coup for all of us to see as it is generated. And third, and most importantly, we have to realize the demographic in this country that is growing. And the real reason why the Republican Party they're in panic mode right now. The important thing is this: they don't want to pass policies that's equitable for everybody. They want to pass policies for the plutocracy and those the plutocracy would hold in their own view as more deserving. Remember, that's what it's all about. A party that has no desire, the Republican Party that is, that has no desire for equity, and having two stooges in another part. Well, actually, it's more than just Sinema and Manchin. They're the only ones brave enough to show their faces, but others that are in the Democratic Party as well that are nothing more than pawns to the plutocracy. They're nothing more than those who are working for wards, if you will, of the plutocracy. Let's keep that straight and let's follow what Kumar had to say. Let's make sure and get those people, call your congresspersons, your senators, but most importantly, register to vote. Make sure you do it correctly, however hard it is, and vote them out. Vote progressives in. We spend a lot of time deconstructing the news, trying to parse it into a form that everybody can understand. We try to find those little nitpicks where it flies above the fray, etc. If you really like these videos that we do, I want to ask a big favor. Please go ahead. Number one, subscribe to our channel. And number two, please join if you can. Thank you so kindly for watching. Keep watching. Please remember to share. We must populate the entire internet with our progressive message, a message that we know is what most Americans say that they want. So help us, please join.